Hello, I'm David Kerr, Professor of Cancer Medicine from University of Oxford. Warm words of welcome from the Dreaming Spars, which you can see behind me. And I'm delighted, honoured to be part of this important webinar. Fantastic that ASCO is helping to add their status to this important meeting, which we're going to talk about how we can repurpose existing drugs and new drugs in terms of what we want to do for cancer treatment. Why is this an important issue? Because globally, we need to do better in terms of access to cancer medicines. There's no question about that. Any survey ever done highlights the inequities, the unfairness that exist between countries with significant resources and those which come from lower or middle income settings. But the question is, can we use science to close that equity gap? Can we teach old drugs new tricks? And I believe that the answer is definitely yes, by looking back across early phase trials, by understanding better the pharmacology of the drugs, better control of dose delivery. We know that billions of dollars of drug are wasted every year because when we reconstitute some of these expensive medicines, there's a significant residue left behind in the reconstituted vials. Something as simple as that could be enormously impactful. We'll provide examples of this. My dear friend, Ahmed El-Zawi, who is the father of the win-win collaboration and who's been talking passionately about this subject for more years than I care to remember, has a whole series of, I think, excellent examples of how we can provide better value cancer care, not only drugs, but across radiotherapy with improved scheduling, without having to sacrifice any of the efficacy that we would hope to see from whatever regimen we deliver. An example from my own field, I'm a GI oncologist, and many years ago we established something called the Quasar Trials Group, largest adjuvant trials group in the world in its day. Quick and simple and reliable was the acronym that Quasar stood for. So we recruited tens of thousands of patients to our adjuvant colorectal cancer trials portfolio. And one of the questions that we asked and answered definitively many years ago was looking at the dose of L-folinic acid. We know that the pharmacology of combining folinic acid and 5-fluorouracil makes sense. We understand at a molecular level how we can stabilize the ternary complex of 5-fluorouracil, its active moiety, F-dump, binding to the enzyme by co-treating with folinic acid. So the basic pharmacology is very well understood. But the clinical pharmacology, we were giving 200 milligrams of DL-folinic acid. In our trial, we compared 200 versus 20 milligrams, and we found there to be no lack of efficacy whatsoever in using a 10 times lower dose. So think if we promulgated that worldwide, how much money we would save in terms of very reasonably, very strongly evidence-based, reducing the dose of the drug to 1/10 of that which was recommended. So there's one example, proven in a very large randomized trial. That's not often the case. But nevertheless, there are examples based on pharmacology, which I think would allow us, those of us who deliver cancer medicines, to be much more thoughtful about how we deliver better value cancer care, how we improve equity of access to existing drugs. That's what we're going to cover in this webinar. We've got a fantastic cast of speakers. We really genuinely have. All friends of Ahmed that through respect, through love, always want to come to support him. So please join us in what I think will be an interactive, interesting webinar with speakers of the very highest caliber. I'm saying that unashamedly with my very large, big head. I hope not being too arrogant, but come and join us. I think you'll find it interesting. And what we need to do is to put these examples into practice and collectively together deliver better value cancer care. Thanks for listening. and I hope to see you soon when you join our webinar. Thanks very much indeed.